Hey guys, what is up? Otto here from Creative Ottman. So today's video is going to be slightly different than my other ones. I'm going to be speaking about how to maintain a healthy and peak level of confidence despite isolating yourself. So isolation tends to usually cause people to dip in self-confidence because you might feel, or you might realize that you kind of feel a bit awkward or feel like you have to get the engine running once again after a time of isolation once you go back out again. So I'm going to try to sort of teach you guys how to just maintain that average, so to speak, level of self-confidence and that ability to be social at any point, even when you've isolated yourself. So I'm going to start this topic by explaining the fact that every single one of us as humans, we have two aspects to ourselves: our inner self, the inner portion, and our outer self. So the inner self being just the fact that we're awake, we're aware, we're able to perceive of the world, we can think, we're alive. And the outer portion being the one mainly correlated to self-confidence. So our personality, our ego, the facade that the world knows us as. I also like to explain the fact that it's like a medium that we can use to communicate our thoughts, our inner self. And that portion is created in the present moment when we're out there in the real world and socializing. And because of that, when you isolate yourself, you extract yourself from that possibility to be social and create your outer self, so to speak. And because of that, it causes momentary lapses and dips in your self-confidence. So the secret here is to maintain an average level of self-confidence despite isolating yourself is, number one, when you're in isolation, what I'd like to tell people is always try to maintain somewhat of a social level. You don't have to go all out and never isolate yourself just to maintain a healthy level of self-confidence, because obviously that can be tiring. People sometimes just want some time off just to relax and just to do nothing. So that's understandable. So the trick around that is, while you're in isolation, relaxing, taking some time off, try to maintain some degree of sociability. So whether it's just a quick phone call with your friend or with anyone else, or just kind of going to the side store and having small talk with the clerk or anyone there, or just saying hi to different people while you're kind of walking there or whatever, maintaining that sort of just a small degree of sociability, even when you're in isolation, can help you maintain that average level of self-confidence where you never, so to speak, forget who you are and what your role in the real world is and what your personality really is. Which is, even though I know it sounds kind of funny to say, but even though we know who we are, our thoughts are ours, and we have a good sort of image of who we are, and when we're out there in the real world, we can easily create ourselves once again and be the person that everyone knows us as. But again, when you isolate yourself, you tend to detach yourself from that aspect, and then you might not forget who you are and then you totally lose control of everything, but you just kind of momentarily lose track of how your flowy, confident state is. So by staying somewhat sociable, even when in isolation, you can maintain that healthy level of knowing how to be social, of what your personality is. And then once you're back out, whether it's after a long weekend, not doing anything, and back at work, you can bounce back to your normal, confident self rather than having to go through that dip, that little phase of awkwardness, which is not even a big deal. Like, usually people just kind of go through that and then they find themselves after a time socializing, after, being back out. So it's not the end of the world, but, it obviously would help every one of us to maintain, to have that at least decent level of self-confidence at all times. And then from then on, you can peak to your maximum flowy, self-confident state where you're able to just walk on water, again, way quicker, because when you start at an average point, you can bounce back to a 10 quicker than if you start at a 0 and work your way up again. So that is it for this video. Again, I know it's kind of a bit of a side topic to what I usually speak to, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button below. More infields coming out, so like this video to let me know that, all right, mate, we like this video, to be able to want to see more infields. I promise more to come, some insane stuff as well. I love you guys. Peace.